18, 19, I think. So I'm having a lot of fun doing these live readings. So I hope you guys are enjoying as much as I am. So I just have to say, some of you that live in Iowa, Knoxville, Iowa, can you believe that it was already flurrying, snow flurries? Like this morning I woke up, I was laying in bed, and I thought I saw something by the window, and I looked out and I saw white, and I had to take a second look, and I realized they were snow flurries. And I was just like, oh my gosh, is it snowing? So I got up and I just looked out the window, and sure enough it was. So then I got up and went into the living room, looked out the window, and there was like snow flurries out there, and the wind was blowing. Last night I had my writers meeting, and I just could not believe like how hard the wind was blowing and how fast it was blowing. And when I was looking out the window, I saw the leaves like being shoved across the street, and I'm sure everybody was glad that they didn't have to shovel the leaves, because I think my brother's house had a bunch of leaves like in the driveway and in the yard, and he had just shoveled or raked them up. And he raked them up, and then I think the leaves had fell again, and so I'm pretty sure the strong wind was a big help for a lot of people. See, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have a yard. So, and I love leaves, right? So they don't really bother me at all. Batman. Don't knock my glass over, please. Batman. Okay, I'll take the glass. Okay, so let's get on with the live reading. So we are on chapter 33. And if some of you are now starting to watch these and you missed the first novel, I do have it on my YouTube channel, so you guys can go to my YouTube channel and just type in a live reading of The Wish, which is the first book in the series. So I am going to start reading chapter 33 from Awakened Evil. I think this book took me 3 years to write, and then The Wish took 9 years. Okay, I'm going to take one more drink. No, Batman. No. 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 He's rubbing his head against the handle on my tripod. It wouldn't surprise me if he knocked the camera completely over. Batman. Just lay down. Just lay down, handsome. But you're so handsome. Aren't you pretty? Are you a pretty boy? Oh, Lord. No. Okay, just get down. Okay. All right, let's get this going. Okay, chapter 33. Even though there were a lot of things going on with Olivia, and the fact that she kept seeing a dead teenager and didn't understand why he was showing up, Gina knew she had to keep going on with life and not stay indoors wondering about the outcome. It wasn't healthy for her. Socks always knew something was wrong. She had to keep working and stay on track, but her long list of emails were piling up. She opened the laptop and clicked on the emails. There were about 50 unread ones that still needed to be addressed. She sighed and rubbed her face. Oils always helped with stress. She opened the desk drawer and dripped a little bit on her wrist and rubbed it together. She clicked on the first one. It was a young couple in Midland, Michigan that needed help. They believed their apartment was haunted by an evil spirit that looked like the devil himself, and it was trying to hurt them and their newborn baby. The town was 2 hours away. Gina clicked on the response button and wrote them down. Later that morning, after eating and doing house chores, she looked at the clock and it was already noon. She gathered up a couple cameras and some ghost equipment, then headed out to the car. She looked at the address on the GPS, then pulled out of the driveway and drove to Midland.
Okay.
On the way there, she thought about everything that had happened, seeing the 2 dead teenagers, the white mist, and why it kept showing her things that weren't making any sense. Who was it, and what did it want? Gina stayed on Woodmere Avenue until she made a left turn onto Primer Street, then made a right turn. The street sign ahead said Lafreniere Road. Arriving to the town of Midland, Michigan, all the bridges, lakes, and trees seemed like a country town. She felt the cool breeze trail by her warm cheeks and forehead. The smell of fresh rain and grass waffled to her nose. The gray clouds drifted away, and the sun brought warmness. Gina looked at her GPS. It showed she was 1 minute away from the location. There were many different kinds of buildings that looked like loft apartments to her, because there were patios with little rails around this sliding glass door. You have arrived at your destination, the voice announced from the GPS. Gina parked the car in the empty space and put it in park. She grabbed her phone and emailed the couple to let them know she was there. She got out of the car and closed the door. The heavy front door to the 10-story building opened. A young girl wore a long lime green sundress with white mixed in it. In her arms, clutched close to her chest, was a newborn baby with a small patch of hair on its head. It was wrapped in a soft blue blanket with an elephant, a lion, and a giraffe stitched in the corner. It reminded Gina of Noah's Ark and Daniel in the lion's den. The young lady's eyes were tired and she looked drained. The guy had on a shirt and jeans like he was dressed up for church. He too looked tired. Gina shook their hands and said, "Hello, I'm Gina. Nice to meet you." They shook hands. "I'm Jack and this is my wife, Anna. Thank you for asking me to come. I'm glad I can help." She followed the couple into the building and waited by the elevator. The lobby didn't have much of an exciting look. Plain walls and gray tile floors. The metal doors opened as a couple people walked out. Before entering, Gina shuddered, seeing a red mist hovering in the upper far corner of the elevator. Ooh, now it's starting to get scary. Right, Batman? Okay. Just as she saw it and remembered the red mist floating in the kitchen by the table and in the living room by the TV, she saw it above the baby crib as well. It was like a replay. Wait a minute. Plain walls and gray. Okay. Never mind. I thought I missed my spot. Before Jack took a step forward, Gina grabbed his arm. "No, wait. Let's go in this one." Gina pressed the button and waited for the elevator to come down. The doors to the other one closed. "What's wrong?" Anna asked, a hand on the baby's back. Gina shook her head and crossed both arms. "Nothing." She held her baby closer. You saw it, didn't you? It's there. It followed us down here. Why don't, we don't know that for sure, honey, Jack said, a hand on her shoulder. Just know that God's presence is with us at all times. The doors opened again. Gina checked, then let them in. Jack pressed number 9 and the doors closed. As the elevator went up, Gina saw her and the young couple's reflection in the metal doors. That wasn't the only thing she saw. Something red started out small like a penny, then grew to the size of a baseball. Her stomach sank with a sick feeling. Just her luck, like always. Socks always took off and hid under the table where the Bible and holy water sat. It was like he knew it would protect him. She looked at Jack and Anna. They were fine. The light above them flickered a couple times, catching all their attentions. The baby cried in Anna's arms as she gently hummed by her baby's ear. The elevator stopped and the doors opened. Gina felt 2 hands shove her forward so hard she lost balance and slammed against the floor in the hallway. She scraped the side of her face on the carpet as it stung and burned. The sound to the doors to the elevator closed shut. Gina, are you okay? Anna panicked. She leaned up and squeezed her eyes shut, holding a hand to her cheek. Son of, ouch. She opened her eyes and she was somewhere else entirely. A white mist hovered by some tall, skinny trees. Dead leaves hovered the dirt ground. Nighttime took over as the moon hung bright in the cloudless sky. A breeze sent a chill up her spine. The white mist lifted its arm and pointed towards the tree line. There was an outline of headstones with a wooden fence around it. A section of it was gone. Gina stood up and slowly walked past the trees and shuffled through the large amount of leaves. Where could I be, and why am I here seeing this? Could it be a future event or what? She stopped by the fence of the graveyard and walked past a few headstones that were old and cracked. Oh my gosh, it's getting better. The names weren't readable. They were worn off and had faded through the years. Something grabbed her ankle and she fell to the ground, but this time she caught herself. It was a hand with rotten flesh and the bones were exposed. It dug its broken nails into the dirt and it slid back under the leaves. With a pounding heart and rapid breathing soaring her throat, she stepped back and was afraid something was going to happen. An arm came up out of the ground and grabbed hold of the headstone. Gina flinched and screamed, bringing both hands to her mouth. She stepped back again and bumped into another headstone. It had been chipped and broken in different places. She looked back and there was a woman with long, fuzzy, dirty hair halfway out of the ground. She stopped and slowly turned around and looked at Gina. Her dirty, broken teeth were exposed. Both her eyes were green and blue, just like Inga's. Was this the same girl she had saw before? Oh my gosh, that was an awesome scene. Oh my gosh. She turned around and slammed right into a woman. She too had glowing eyes and the same hair. How many of them were there? Gina got up and ran out of the cemetery. She spun around to see if they were following her, and they weren't. She bumped into a woman with the glowing eyes. Gina flew back and slammed to the floor, bringing her back to reality. Jack and Anna leaned over her with concern. Gina, are you okay? Jack helped her up. Did you see that? See what? The red mist? Anna asked. No, I saw a cemetery. Didn't you see it too? No, Anna said as Jack shook his head. Gina, we called our pastor to come over and help you. He might get this thing out of here. Gina didn't hear one complaint from anybody living in that building. Not one. Everybody had their own story to tell. Whether it was seeing something or things moving around, items gone missing. Gina and the pastor went to every single apartment and blessed the place until they were on the last floor and finished apartment number 1. The air was lifted and she could breathe again. There wasn't a creepy feeling that something was there watching your every move. You didn't feel scared or threatened in any way. Whatever evil was there, it was now gone. After Gina was done, she left and headed back to Traverse City, feeling relieved and calm. But the woman in the cemetery still had her thinking what it could mean. Okay, now we're going to do chapter 31, which it's really short. Okay, chapter 31. Yes, Inga slammed both hands on the edge of the table, startling Peter, Mark, and Joseph. It's working. But Master, the mystical is showing her the future. It doesn't matter. Everything is working out just the way I want it to. Peter, Mark, and Joseph stood in silence. Margaret and Elaine, how did they get here? Inga stopped by the fireplace, still furious and upset that her book of spells were now in a pile of ashes. That teenager and his friend is getting on my last nerve. I need to get rid of them for once and for all. But what about your diamond and the dagger? I can't step foot in her house. It's blessed with the Holy Spirit. And you can't either. Your spells, Master. If I had my spell book, you idiot. She threw a candle at him and it flew right over his head. Inga turned back towards the fireplace as the flames crackled. She closed her eyes and thought of Mother. She could now see her dark hair and evil smile. If only she could reach out and hug her once more. I miss you, Mother. Starting out as a young witch, the loss of her mother and 2 sisters still weighed heavy on her. She did come to find strength and build her own house with 2 hands and with her 2 hands and with the help of dark magic. Revenge still weighed heavy on her thoughts. She needed to take someone else. But who? She thought about Richard and that little boy of his, Henry. Inga turned around and looked at the others. I want to pay a visit to this Madison girl. Her soul shall make me beautiful. She looked in the mirror and saw how dead and dry her skin looked. She remembered how clean and soft it used to be. Her hair had some gray in it. She never did like gray hair, not even Mother. Okay, that is it. So that was chapters 33 and 34. Now I do have to say chapter 34. No, not 34. Now 33. I loved writing that chapter. I love old cemeteries, graveyards. I really love headstones that are old and they look like they faded in time. And I'm pretty sure when I wrote that chapter, I don't know what year I wrote this book. I have to look at it. But when I would go out to a cemetery, I would try and look for real old headstones that if I had pictures, I would show you right now, but I just really enjoyed like the one area that was like really old, that because like when you go out to a cemetery, you can tell which part is old and which part is taken care of, meaning like most of the headstones at Graceland Cemetery has like flowers on them. Well, close to the highway, there's a section where there's nothing on the headstones because the families probably moved on and they were probably forgotten about, is what I'm guessing. So, doing right in the cemetery scene was a lot of fun to write. I really, really enjoyed it. So the white mist that I did put in this chapter, it is a character that's going to be featured in Wicked Curse. This book here, this is the third book, and I am like, this was a lot of fun to write, and I just cannot wait to start reading this. And by the end of December, we will be done with this book, Wicked Curse, and we'll be moving on to, we will be done with Awakened Evil, and then we'll be reading Wicked Curse, which I am like so excited because there is a lot of stuff going on in Wicked Curse. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this book, but I'm just like so excited to get going on this one. So, but the White Mist, I don't really want to give it away. I'm sure some of you that have read the books, you probably already know. So, but the White Mist is like a witch. I don't know if I should say that, but I am having I had a lot of fun doing Wicked Curse and Mystical. There's like a lot going on in that one too. So the one dead looking woman that came up out of the ground is a big hint to this one here, Wicked Curse. And I had so much fun writing this dead witch that she kept appearing. Like, she kept appearing a couple of times in this one. And at first, when I was writing the book and when she kept, like, showing up, I didn't know, like, who she was and why she kept appearing in my chapters, and especially to Gina. And when I was working on Gina's character in this one, she is psychic and she's a medium. So she can talk to the dead and she can have visions and she can see the dead. So this woman, this dead-looking woman, just kept popping up and I didn't know why. So I said, okay, I'll just let it happen and see where we go from there. So I was working on this book and the dead woman was still appearing. She still kept coming up. So I finished Awakened Evil and then I started working away on Wicked Curse. And when I was halfway through Wicked Curse, I was actually still working a little bit on this one. Because, like, I had, like, 3 drafts done, and then I started number 4. And when I was doing draft 4 on Awakened Evil, I was starting to work on Wicked Curse. And then I realized who this dead-looking woman was, and I was like, oh, yeah, of course, duh. So then, when I figured out who this dead-looking woman was gonna be, and there is multiples of them, I went back through Awakened Evil one last time before I published this one, and I added in little clues and little hints from this book and stuck it in this one. And I was just having so much fun with it. And then finally, when I did a couple hints of the blue and green eyes and the dead looking woman in this one, then I started working away on this one. And I'm still stunned that this book has almost 500. This is 473 pages. So I just can't believe I wrote a big book like this. I thought Awakened Evil was bigger. I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah. So this is Awakened Evil, and this is Wicked Curse. They're about the same. The same, maybe? I think. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay. I think this one's a little bit bigger, I think. I don't know. They just seem... Maybe they're like the same size, maybe? I don't know. But the dead-looking woman, she didn't take a too big a role on Awakened Evil, but then she started showing up a lot in this one. And when I was working on this book, I was working on the characters and what they are up to and what they need to do, and that woman just kept showing up in this one. So I'm just so excited to get this started. But I think, okay, so this is my new planner 2022, and I already have Wicked Curse planned out for January, February, and March already. And then I actually did forget, I'm doing a Better Living event in Des Moines with my good friend Brian Stickle. And we're doing the 2 days, the 27th and the 28th. So, or the 28th and the 29th, I think. So, the 28th, I'm doing a Wicked Curse chapter, but I can probably get it in there, I'm sure, somehow. But, so... we should be done with Awakened Evil by December 23rd. So, I am really excited. And we're going to start Wicked Curse the day of New Year's Eve. And I'm really excited. And I'll start that on January 1st. Chapters 1 and 2 at 5 o'clock. So my next reading for Awakened Evil, I got it all set up right here. See? Okay, so what is today's date? I have no clue. Let me look at my computer. What is today? No, okay, the 12th. No, it's not. Never mind. I'm looking in December. I have to look in my other planner. What did I do with it? Where's my other planner, Batman? Oh, here it is. Found it. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Where is November? Okay. November. This is the one I needed. Okay. Today is the 12th. My next reading that I'm going to be doing is Monday at 4 o'clock. I was going to start in the morning, but I really needed to stick with the normal times that I do because it's a lot easier on me. So, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll be doing live reading of Awakened Evil. Yeah. So the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then the next 8 weeks I will be doing my live readings of Awakened Evil. And then soon I will be reading Wicked Curse, which I'm excited. And I'm excited for Mystical too. I mean, Mystical is pretty thick, but you know what I realized the other day? When I get done reading the Keeper of Souls series, I'm going to be reading the Sword of Realm series. And I only have one book done in that series. I'm trying really hard to try to get going on this Sword of Realms series. I'm not completely stuck. I have a lot of ideas already for the third novel, which is Survivor. And then for the last novel, it's called Crowned, which I wasn't even going to tell anybody the titles of those books, but I mean, it's okay if I do. It's not a big deal. But anyways, so Monday coming up, I will be reading chapter 35. Yeah, chapter 35. Oh, am I reading 2 chapters? Let me look. One more time. November. Okay. Okay, so the 5th. Oh, I am. Okay, so 33. Okay. So. Wait. I just read 33. Yeah. 33. Okay. So I will be reading chapters 35. Yes. 35 and 36. This Monday. Because chapter 35 is a little short, so. Anyways. I've had a lot of energy for the past couple of days. Because I've been up the flower shop. I was carrying stuff up and down the stairs. I was organizing. I was cleaning up. I was moving stuff out of the way. So, I'm tired. My body was hurting so bad last night. When I got home, my feet felt like they were burning and my legs were like aching. And I know I'm only 33 years old, but when you do a lot of heavy lifting and hardcore working, I was going up the staircase and I felt like an old person. Like my back was arched and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get up these damn stairs because I'm in so much pain. But I got up the stairs, I flopped on the couch, and I just laid there, which was a bad idea because when I was trying to move, I swear I could hear and feel my bones popping. So, I'm trying to just take it easy, but anyways, so I just want to remind you guys that this upcoming Thursday is going to be Living Windows. And I just want to say, if next Thursday is going to be snow flurries and high wind and rain, I am not sitting outside. I'm not doing that. So let's pray for the weather to be just fine, where I can sit outside. So anyways, so thank you so much for joining me for this chapter. It is 7 o'clock now, so that was a really, really fun chapter to write. I love reading the scary chapters, but when you write a book, not every single chapter has to be blood-curdling, bloody, and scary. You know, you gotta get into the characters' backstories, who they are as a person and whatnot. So, I'm just really, I love this book, and I hope you guys do too. So, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys Monday at 4